Hello, everyone, and welcome to Power Your Job Search with Google Tools. This session is being hosted by the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in partnership with Grow with Google. I'm Jocelyn Williams, and I will be your facilitator for this evening. This is the fourth session in a 5-session learning series being hosted by the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter. And we've partnered with Google to help individuals grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering digital skills training and tools. So we are very excited that you're joining us this evening. And tonight, the focus will be on using Google tools to help make your job search a lot easier and more efficient. Before we get further into our session, we always like to run a 4-question multiple choice poll to give us an idea of who you are and help us plan for future sessions, as well as fulfill our partnership agreement with Google. Now, be assured that your personal information will not be shared, just the demographic data. So when the poll is launched, if you would take a moment and answer the 4 questions, and that will help us moving forward. Thank you for taking the time to answer the poll. I do want to let you know that the chat is available to you. If you have questions, if you would place them in the chat. Also, throughout this session, I will be asking questions of you, and I would like for you to put your responses in the chat. Let's look a little bit deeper into what we'll be focusing on this evening. We're going to specifically discuss how to manage the main tasks that are associated with a job search. We're going to be looking at Google Sheets, an application within Google to create a job search tracker. Next, we will go into how to use that sheet to keep track of the jobs that you may want to apply for. The sheet will allow you to organize any of the information you find on jobs, and you can return to it when you're ready to prepare and submit your applications and do any follow-up that you have in mind. This Google Sheet, it is yours, and it will help you remember the jobs that you're interested in, allow you to compare opportunities, and decide which one is best for you. Once you have built your tracker, you can use this tracker to manage the whole process. And we're going to talk about how to use the jobs on Google search to find the employment opportunities that are important to you. And then we'll look at how to search and filter jobs that match your interests and your experience, then how to save the job information, and then even set up alerts so that when jobs are posted, you receive notifications about those postings. The skills that you learn will help you during your job search, and once you get settled into a new role, you can continue with the skills that you're learning. Many jobs, as you know, today require that you have some familiarity with technology, whether it's word processing, spreadsheets, presentations. So digital skills are very, very important. We'll talk about the Google Workspace applications and you will have access to that going forward. So you'll be able to experiment and grow your skills. So let's get started. I want to get an idea from you. You know, this pandemic has found many employers switching from in-person to remote uh, uh, remote operations, I should say, and even in some cases a hybrid, a combination of in-person and remote. What, in your opinion, are the challenges that one faces when trying to find job or career opportunities from home? What are some of the challenges that we're trying to do this remotely? What are some of the challenges trying to find those career opportunities from home? No access to the internet. That is key. You need access to the internet to be able to find those remote opportunities. What are some other challenges? Go ahead and put in the chat. What do you think are some of the challenges? Of course, looking for a job, employment opportunities is never very easy, regardless of whether you're in person or remote. But remote, finding the right fit, definitely, and limited skills. What about the fact that you're remote and some of the things, the jobs, opportunities you would hear about in person, word of mouth, that isn't there when you are remote. And think about in the remote environment, in the home environment, what are some things that might hamper or challenge finding those job opportunities, other than very, very key, no access to the internet, limited skills, finding the right fit, and also the word of mouth that is available when you're in a shared workspace isn't there when you're working remotely. We're gonna look at some of those, talk about some of those challenges and how to overcome those when you're in a remote environment. So, challenges. There are fewer word of mouth opportunities, because many times when you're in a shared workspace, there are people that are sharing, okay, in this department or in this company, my friend or my aunt or my cousin, my classmate told me about this opportunity. So that word of mouth is not there. And finding a job under the best of circumstances isn't an easy task. So running a new career search when you're transitioning, working from home, can be even more challenging. So, and also distractions at home. I don't know about you, but home can be distracting when you're trying to juggle managing childcare, pet care, housework, maybe a new living arrangement, uh, entertainment, maybe the pull of the television or the movie, or maybe even just taking a nap. So there can be some distractions, and we're gonna talk about ways to maybe overcome those. But you need to be aware that there may be some challenges that you face in a remote environment, but those can be overcome. And we're going to dive into tips that you can use, or best practices, when you're running a job search from home. What are those tips? You want to, first of all, keep a routine. Keep a routine. If when you're in a shared workspace, in-person work environment, you get up, take a shower, have breakfast, keep doing that. Maintain regular hours. If you were 8 to 5, you want to keep that schedule and not deviate from it. Set a schedule, try to keep to it. A routine will really help you maintain a sense of normalcy and help you stay productive. Another key point for running a job search from home, working from home even, is create a dedicated workspace. Find a spot where you will go to work in the same place during the work week. So you're not, say, sharing your space. Okay, you're in your bedroom where there's maybe some temptations there, or you're, in a fitness area, or you're in the kitchen. So you want to find a dedicated workspace, so you are sitting and working in the same place every day. And even if you may have to share a dedicated workspace, say the kitchen table, you have it set up so you can clean things up when it's time for meals, and then reorganize when it's work time. And you may find it challenging because you don't necessarily have a dedicated workspace at home. So you may want to look at the library. There'll be some spaces that you can reserve at the library, maybe a bookstore, but you want to have a dedicated workspace. Maintain a daily schedule. So if your work week is Monday through Friday, you want to maintain that daily schedule, the same hours each day, as you would if you were in person. You also want to make sure that you have everything you need to be productive. If there's certain equipment that you need, if there's certain supplies that you need, you want to make sure that in that remote workspace, you have all of the equipment and all the tools that you need so that you can do all of the tasks that you have to do. So you may have to take time to secure those supplies, whether it be rent, borrow, or purchase them for your dedicated workspace. Another key tip is to create a daily to-do list. And I find it helpful at the end of a workday to write out my to-do list for the next day. Not only review what I have on my to-do list for that day and see what I have completed, but also to set up the to-do list for the next day. Review what do I have planned for the next day. So if I need to make any adjustments, revisions, I can do that, but I have my day planned the day before. And this is also a good time to review to see what worked, what didn't work, maybe adjustments are needed. So it's always good to have that to-do list. So you have that framework, that guide, that roadmap, so you are being productive, you're getting things done, and you're not wasting time. It helps you to work smartly. Something else that is key is to set boundaries so that you have a good work-life balance. That is so key, because if you could find yourself, if you're not careful, okay, I have one more task that I can get done, and you may find that work and personal life are overlapping, and it's like, okay, you find yourself doing all of this work and there's no time for personal life, self-care. So you need to make sure that you're managing that very carefully. So you want to set boundaries, create those to-do lists, keep a routine, and that will help you determine if that balance that you need, that everyone needs, is there. And again, if you need to make adjustments, you can see what adjustments need to be made. And you're not monopolizing all of your time, wake time, with work. Because it's so easy when you're working from home that everything gets blurred and mesh together. And you want to keep things balanced as much as possible. Now, when you begin looking for a job, one of the things that I'm sure that many of you have done is you go to a company website, because on the company website, there will usually be sections on the site for employment or careers. So that is certainly a good way to see what jobs are available at that company that you may be interested in, or a similar company, and read those job descriptions. So you know exactly what they are looking for, and you can kind of get an idea, am I a good fit for this job? Is this something that I'm interested in? You know what they are looking for, and then when you're doing your search, you can pull out those keywords based on the job description. And that's a great way to get ideas about career options, because you have an understanding of, okay, this is company, let's just say Memorial Hermann, for example. You can get an idea of what that employer is looking for. What are their needs? What are they wanting? So don't overlook the company websites and their career and their employment sections. Now, a lot of people find it easier to search for jobs and apply for them in phases. For example, you may do a lot of online searching for jobs on one day, and then the next day you go about applying for those jobs. So you can determine what's best for you to do searching in phase one, searching, and then phase two, for example, applying. But in doing that, if you're from day to day, and even from within a day, you don't want to forget about the jobs that you found, or lose that sense of urgency after your initial search. And plus, you may have noticed that job openings are posted and then they're removed all the time. They don't necessarily stay up for very long, and it can be a challenge to keep up with all of them. So this tracker is a way to organize everything, help you find out the opportunities, keep them organized through this tracker, and help you manage your job search process from start to finish. And this Grow with Google, we're recommending using Google. Google's a prime product to use in your job search. Now, one of the great things about Google and all the applications within it, they are free. There's no cost to use Google in its applications, and it's easy, quick and easy to set up a Google account. In order to use applications, you must have a Google account. But it is free and easy to use, quick setup. All that is required once you have set up your Google account is to sign in with your username and password. And once you've signed into Google, you have access to all of the applications. It's a single sign-on, so it's not a double sign-on. And there are lots of applications that you can use for work and home. Another plus with Google, you can access Google, your account, all the Google apps from any device that has internet access 24/7. It is not device dependent. Anything that you create is automatically saved, and you can access it from any internet accessible device. So here we're looking at, this is a picture of the Google page. After you sign into your Google account, what you want to do is access the Google app menu. which is shown here, and open the Google Drive. This icon again will show you all of the Google applications, and you can get to your Gmail, your Sheets, and we're going to talk about Google Sheets as for the tracking purposes of the job search. Slides, Docs, all the Google apps you can access. We're going to look at the Google Drive first, and this Google Drive. This icon, the Google Drive icon, is the multicolored triangle. And the Google Drive, it allows you to store, access, share files, documents, slides, photos, forms, all in one place. And everything is stored to the cloud. It's a safe place on the internet. So if you have a device crash, and device crashes happen unexpectedly, you don't have to worry about, oh, my data is completely lost. What am I going to do? Have to recreate everything, or I've lost it for good. Everything is saved in the cloud, and you can easily access it, as I mentioned, from any device, smartphone, tablet, computer that has internet access. So you don't have to worry about your location or your device, which is a plus. And again, I want to mention that when you work, your any operations that you perform, any actions you take, everything is automatically saved. When you first access Google Apps, if you're a first-time user and you go into Google Apps, access the Google Drive, this area will be blank because you have not created anything. But once you start creating projects, this area will be filled with your forms and everything, and forms, photos, files, anything that you create or anything that is shared with you. Now, within Google and the Google Apps, you will use Google Sheets to build a tracker, a job tracker. And within the Google Drive, you would just simply click New, plus sign, then select Google Sheets, and then blank spreadsheet. And then you'll name that spreadsheet, and then you will easily be able to find it. So you could give your sheet a name like My Job Search, because again, this is something for you. It's not something you would be sharing with anyone else necessarily. So you can name it, name of your choice, and that becomes the file name and offers you a way to find the file once you have created it. As soon as you open the sheet and you name it, it is saved automatically to the Google Drive. So you don't have to do anything extra to save any work that you do in the sheet that you create. And here is an up-close view of a Google Sheet. Let's take a look at this. The sheet consists of cells, many rectangles. Cells are organized into rows, and we see that this example, there are 14 rows that are shown here. 14, okay, so 14 rows, 1 through 14. And then there are columns that are lettered alphabetically. Each cell has what is called an address based on its column and row. For example, this one here that's labeled job position is column A, row 1. You can navigate throughout the spreadsheet in a different cell, or you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move within the grid or within the spreadsheet. And you can add text, formatting, formulas if you like formulas, and functions to these cells. So you can make this job search tracker, this sheet, what works best for you. So you can modify it any way that you want. Now, once you've created the sheet, you can organize that sheet. So you can manage many aspects of your work within this. So you can use a sheet like this, not only for a job search, but you could use it for a budget, to list your goals, plan a trip. So a spreadsheet has multiple uses, but here we're focused specifically on the job search. So to make your job search easier and concise, you can customize the sheet so that it tracks the important information that you want to capture about potential job opportunities. You can add headings. In this example, we have job, company, the salary, the website address or URL of the company, and then any notes. So you can add heading labels, again, that identify the information that you want to capture about each job. So these are some suggestions. If you put in the chat, what are some other column headings, or what other information might you want to capture when you're doing your job search? And there's no right or wrong answer. Everybody is different. But what are some, if there was some other heading that you would put in your specific job search tracker, what would those be? Let's see, what would we have? Date, okay, a date as to when you your first contact with that company during your job search. That's a good one. What else might you want to, their response, a contact person, yes, that's good to capture. Perhaps any other type of information that you might want to pull into your job search tracker. What about whether it's full-time or part-time, remote or hybrid? Telephone number, yes. You still want your level of interest. That's definitely a good one, whether it's high interest, so or whatever the case may be. Okay, telephone number, yes, because you can still, even though a lot of things are done digitally, we still have that ability to speak to people on the telephone. So that is an excellent one, the telephone number. Also, you might want to put the location. Is it within, the greater Houston area is so large. So you might want to put the location so you can determine, okay, if it's an in-person position or hybrid position, how far would I have to travel? The job title, yes, the job title. So those are some excellent, the type of information you think about. What do I want to know as I'm doing my job search and I'm considering job and career opportunities? What type of information do I want to capture so that I can make an informed decision about whether to apply and how to follow up, that type of thing. So all of these, everything that has been put in the chat, again, there's no right or wrong answer. You want to put the information that is of most interest to you, and that will help you to structure and organize your job search. And again, you're going to use this tracker as you begin your job search, but also when you're doing your follow-up. And let's say you use your tracker, you might want to build in a column heading, as someone mentioned, the date. That's key. Okay, the date, maybe application submitted. That could be one. The date when interview, and then maybe a date for follow-up. or second interview. So all of that could be used to capture a follow-up as in terms of maybe sending a communication, thanking the interviewer for, or the person interviewing you for the interview, well, expressing your continued interest in the job, whatever the case may be. So use this tracker. Also, that'll give you an idea. Okay, I applied for this job on this date, or I had the interview on this date. Then you can determine when to follow up. So you have all of that good information in your tracker. So as you proceed in your job search, you can add details. You can add all of the details that you need to keep track of that information that is important to you. Again, if you want to expand your job search beyond, say, your local area, if you're willing to do a commute, you can, add that information in the locations, because that might help you determine, well, yes, that job is of interest to me, or no, I'm not willing to commute 2 hours one way, whatever the case may be. Also, you might want to make note of any perks or benefits that could be entered under a note section. Again, all of the information important to you that will help you make a decision as to whether to pursue that job opportunity. You can change the format of the headings. Again, this is your tracker, so you make it work for you. You make it fit for you. You don't have to follow someone else's tracker or think, well, I'm going to have to submit this to someone, because that's not the case. You want to make the information, easy for you to read and easy for you to capture, pull information, make any changes that you need. And you can do that with this tracker. Now, once you have set up your sheet, you want to begin to really get into your job search and look for those jobs. And as we mentioned earlier, you don't want to overlook the sites, the company sites of those that have those job opportunities, because they will have those, they will post in the career or employment sections, and you can read those job descriptions and see, what are they looking for? Do I meet those qualifications? Do I even want to apply for that position? So you do want to get an idea and be aware of those key words in those job descriptions, because they will be very beneficial in your job search. When you're doing a job search, okay, I see that I'm going back to the medical field, that hospitals tend to be, for this position, these are the characteristics, or these are the requirements that they have. So when you're doing your job search in Google, you can put those specific keywords in and really fine tune your search. And chances are you probably already used a digital tool to do searching for career opportunities or for other purposes. Most employers, they're going to list their jobs online and manage the entire application process digitally. So you will submit your application through a digital portal. You will submit a resume through the digital portal. So a lot of things are done digitally. So you need to be comfortable with that process. So you can use, moving into the search, you can use jobs on Google search to look for new opportunities. Jobs on Google search will pull job opportunities or ads from all over the internet and create one easy list of potential jobs for you to consider. So here we see an image of the Google page. And in that search, you can put simply jobs near me. You can put in a specific title like manager, content manager, technology jobs near me. So you can start your job search through just a regular job search. Nothing too difficult for you to do. So again, you would go to google.com, and in that job search bar, I should say, you would type jobs near me. You can put a specific location, jobs near me, Austin, Texas, as this example shows. You could indicate part-time jobs. If you're looking specifically for remote work, remote jobs near me, customer service jobs near me. So you could also type in a question, what are the best information technology jobs near me? So you could put in a question and you can add search terms that work for you. Remember, I talked about going to those company sites and looking at those job descriptions for those keywords. Analytical. So you could put in, data analyst or business analyst, medical professions. So you could get really specific. If you're not sure of the job that you're looking for, you could, again, just do a high-level search. If you have an idea of the career field, like customer service, financial, you could do a search like that. If you want to do opportunities, say manufacturing jobs in Conroe, or whatever the case may be. So you can put in a location, put in a specific skill, indicate remote, part-time, full-time, hybrid, because many times employers will indicate, they'll have those key terms in their job description. So if you're only looking for remote work and you want to narrow or focus your search on only remote jobs, you can indicate that in the search field here on Google, remote jobs near me. So you can be very specific and move forward in your search. Now, you can expand your search with Google. So you have your basic Google search, which will show you a list of several jobs. And you can, once you have that list, you can click and then you can go directly to that specific job that has of interest to you. Or, as in this example, you could click the arrow on the top right and expand your search. So this image shows a preliminary search results containing 3 possible jobs, okay, in the Memphis area. So you can expand your search. And next, you would want to check the results of your expanded search. So on the home page, the user type, you would type jobs near me in the search bar, review the search results. And it'll show you jobs near you. So you can see all the possible opportunities. And after that, you could dive deeper and find listings not only that show you everything, but dive deeper and get a snapshot of jobs that you want to look further at. So you can see for this, in this example, for the FHIR engineer in Austin, you want to explore the job further. So you want to see, okay, I see the location, I see that it's a permanent job, I see the salary information, as well as when they're looking for the individual that they hire to start. You can get reviews of the company. So if you want opinions from, see opinions from other people or reviews that have been done. So you can read through a lot of detail to see, is this something I want to pursue further? So the left sidebar in Google will show you, again, the job opportunities, and then you can see the specific ad, the specific job, and then these blue lines will point to specific information about that job. Again, the salary, the location, type, start date. And you can also see a detailed job description. Now, in the Google job search, if you're, again, looking for remote work, I only want work from home at this point. So you can set up that filter here on the top of the job search, Google job search, to indicate I wanted to set this up so that I will see remote work. And that will help you to really hone in on remote opportunities. So you can set up that filter so you're not seeing everything out there, or jobs that are not even remote work, if that's something you want. So this is showing how this is that filter you can set up. So everything that will be viewed or displayed, I should say, will be remote positions. So let's say for this scenario, you have found a job that meets what you are looking for. It's like customer service representative. You've read through the job description and you see all of the information and you're interested in this position. And you've determined that you're going to apply for the position, but you don't want to do it right at this moment. So you can save your this snapshot, this search, and return to it later. It will bookmark, so you can return to it later, and you don't have to go through and search for it again. So at the top of the jobs listing is a saved tab, and it shows here in this example 3 jobs have been saved. So any jobs that you save, when you click this save icon next to the job, all the saved listings will be placed in one bucket, and you can easily access them at a later point in time. So it will show you all of the jobs that you are interested in, and you can come back to them later. So there are 3 jobs that have been saved that this user can return to and apply for. Now, you can also set up alerts, set up notifications, so you get notified when a job has posted, because the job landscape, it changes. Postings go up and then they come down. So you may find yourself constantly checking, well, okay, this job was just open and now, the next day it's gone. But you can set up alerts so you don't miss out on opportunities. Because when the employers post all the time, not necessarily on a specific schedule. You can't determine, okay, well, they post everything on Friday. That's not the case. Employers post all of the time. And performing an internet search every day, which you're going to be doing more than likely, and sorting through trying to find new jobs can take a lot of time that you could be using to fine tune your resume, prepare for interviews, doing research on companies that you may want to apply for and determine is this a good fit possibly for me. So to save time, when you're searching for those job lists, and set up those email alerts. So when you set up an alert, you will automatically receive an email about new listings that match your search criteria. So you can set that up, turn on alerts for the search in the lower left corner of that Google job search screen. And so anytime the postings from these employers occur, you will be notified. You'll be made aware of when they have posted based on your search criteria. You'll get those notifications. And that will really help you manage your time when it comes to searches, and then the job opportunities that match what you're really interested in you'll be alerted on about that. So at this point in your job search, you've found several opportunities, you've set up alerts to keep yourself updated about when jobs become available. You can apply for several jobs. We talked about the type of information you want to capture in your spreadsheet. So you can add, again, a date for when you found the job opportunity, maybe another date for when you actually submit your application and your resume, and dates for when you get called for an interview. So all of that information is in your tracker, all of that detail. So you don't have to remember, okay, did I apply for it? When did I apply for it? When is it time for me to follow up? All of that information is in your tracker. And you can determine, okay, well, I want to search for jobs in this area or within this career field. So all the information that is important to you is in your tracker. So as you find jobs that interest you, as you are progressing through your job search, you can enter your details in the spreadsheet. And again, when you enter your information in your spreadsheet and your Google Sheet, it is automatically saved. You don't have to remember to save after every action you take, which is really good. And you can access your sheet from any device that has internet access. So let's say you are traveling and you're at a hotel and you're like, oh, I want to add a detail to my sheet, or I want to search for job opportunities. If you have a device, or you can use the hotel business center, they have internet access. You can access Google to do your job search, and you can access your job tracker, your sheet that you have created to enter detailed information. So fill out your tracker with all the opportunities as you find them. And after you've spent time searching, you can review your sheet, decide what you want to apply for, and then proceed through the application process and use that sheet to track your application process. Very important. And use it throughout, even with follow-up, you want to use it. And follow-up is very important, as well as the initial application that you do, follow-up is just as important, and you want to keep track of all that. So this shows this sheet that we're looking at, this image. It shows a tracker. It's been filled out with the job title, the company, the salary, the website address of the company, and then a note, part-time options are available. So this shows you an example of that. Now, again, with Google, you can do both a basic search and you can do a more advanced job search. So both job searches will capture, or you'll be capturing the same type of information, like the job title, the company, the web address, the salary. But with the advanced job search, you might be getting more detailed information, the salary, maybe you're looking at reviews, special requirements, location. So you can capture all of that, find all that detailed information, doing a basic job search or an advanced job search. And when you're looking for job opportunities, more than likely you're going to be doing a combination of both. You're going to be doing basic as well as advanced, and using the job tracker sheet, no matter what type of search you're doing, to capture that information. Very key. Google tools can certainly simplify your job search process from start to finish, and help you find new career opportunities from searching as well as managing the process. You can do all of that using the Google tools. All of that. Now, we talked about some of the challenges that you may find that you're facing when looking for job opportunities remotely. And again, you want to make sure that you are aware that, okay, you want to maintain that work-life balance, keep on schedule. You want to have a dedicated workspace, make sure that you have all the tools that you need. Internet access, as was mentioned in the chat, that is key. But let's say if you don't have internet access at home, public libraries offer internet devices, so you can go to the library and do your job search. And again, with Google, so you could go to the library and set up a Google account and then access Google Drive, Google Sheets, do your search from the public library if you don't have internet access. For example, my internet access, there was several hours, my internet access was down. I had no Wi-Fi, but I could go to the library and do work using Google. So you're not limited to, okay, what happens if something happens and I don't have the internet access at home? What are some of my options? So Google makes it very easy because you're not tied to a specific location or a specific device. You can always get to your files, your folders. You can do your searching from any device. So public libraries, work centers, you could go to FedEx Center. They have computers that you can use, and there's no charge to use their computers. And you could do your searching there. So there's a lot of options. Use that tracker. Again, the tracker is something that you want to set up that is good for you, and you can make changes to it so that you can really work it and make your job search very efficient. And it keeps a record, so you know where you started and how you are progressing. So you can really evaluate, did this work for me? What changes do I need to make? So use that tracker to manage all of your career options, record notes, track your status. So you can find a lot of potential opportunities. You can narrow down your search. You start out with a wide net and then narrow your search. You can use filters to find specific jobs, locate remote opportunities, get alerts, set up alerts so you know when postings occur for jobs that you are interested in. And also, you can set up a save. So you say you dedicated a lot of time to searching. You can save those sites with those opportunities that you are interested in and easily get back to them without having to go back and redo all of that search again. So there's a lot there that you can use the tools for within Google. We talked about sheets for your tracker, searching using Google, docs for your resume to take notes, and then some interviewers will use Google Meet to do their interface with you, or they may use Zoom. Many of you are familiar with Zoom. So there are lots of tools within Google that you will find valuable. So you want to create that job search tracker, search for jobs in your area, and you can go beyond your area. If you're interested with remote work, there are job opportunities that are remote. You're not limited to your local area. You can go outside of your local area, spread a wide net within your state, outside of your state, if it's a remote job that doesn't require that you be within a specific locale. So you can search for jobs outside if it is a remote job such as that. And again, you can filter the search criteria so you find the things that are of most interest to you. Because with a job search, job opportunities, you want it to be not only you do want to be a good fit for the organization, but are they a good fit for you? So it needs to be a good fit for you as well as the company. I briefly mentioned Google Meet. You can use Google Meet to just practice your interviewing skills. So you're prepared for questions and see how do I appear? What is my nonverbal? How am I responding? So you can do a mock interview, prepare for that. Google offers other tools and other sessions that you can do to grow your career and develop your technology skills, which is really great. Really very good. You can learn from anywhere. That is a plus, to be able to learn from any place at any time that is convenient for you. The job search does not have to be intimidating, but it can be challenging, but it doesn't have to be intimidating. And here I wanted to show you some of the online training and tools that are available at Grow with Google. Whether you're a teacher or student, there are tools that you can use in the classroom. If you are an entrepreneur or a business, you can find tools that will help you uh, provide your customers with the things they need, help you find customers. If you're looking for jobs, which was our focus today, you can look at building your resume skills, obtain a certification. If you're a developer, with software, you can learn to code, take your skills to the next level. All of that is available at grow.google, and it is free. There's no charge for that. So there are a number of resources, different learning paths, and options that are available, and you can determine what's best for you, and always do more at a later point in time. So it doesn't matter if you're a small business, a job seeker, a student, a military veteran, a family member of a military member, an educator, developer, or startup. There is training available for you, and it is free of charge. Here are some of the resources that are available if you're interested in remote work, setting up a Google account. If you want to get a little bit more specific on some of the Google apps that you would be using, Docs, the Google Drive, the Sheets, applying digital skills. And there's a primer. There are short videos available, hands-on exercises that you can do. And again, this is, as long as you have an internet connection, you can access this training, these resources. They are free. There's no charge. So you can get as in-depth as you want. You can get very in-depth. Very, very in-depth. Did anyone have any questions, or maybe there's a specific challenge that you're facing that you need help with, or wanting some help with job searching? Again, you don't have to be intimidated if you are looking for job opportunities and you are remote. There are challenges with a job search, but those challenges can be overcome. Always highly recommend creating that job tracker, because you always want to know, you want to have that tracker so you know where you're starting and where you need to go. And if you need to pivot, make any changes, you can do that. And do your follow-up. Do your follow-up. That is key. I don't if you know what you've done, you can adequately do your follow-up. If there aren't any questions, we have an evaluation link that's been put in the chat. I believe you also get an evaluation link tomorrow, I believe, a day later. If you would fill that out, we'd appreciate your feedback. I want to thank you for attending this session. And I want to thank the members of the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter for hosting this session and for their support. And we certainly appreciate Google for partnering with us to offer digital skills sessions for the community, because it is very important in this time to be savvy and comfortable, certainly, with the use of digital skills. And want to encourage you to develop your skills with Google. There's so many benefits to using Google, as I mentioned, and you can take this time to really develop your skills, and it will benefit you in the long run, very much so, because everything is being done digitally. Everything is not paper like it used to be, but so your search, the application process is being done through a portal of some type. So thank you for coming. Appreciate your time. And again, I wish you much success, and you can be successful in your job search and with your Google skills development.